And welcome back to our daily college basketball best bets here on the channel. Today is December 7th, and we've got 5 more best bets for you here for this college basketball Saturday slate. Obviously, again, you got the conference championships going on with college football, but there's also college basketball today as well. And again, we're going to continue to give you our 5 best bets for college basketball daily here on the channel. And folks, if you have not yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more daily college basketball best bets here on the channel, along with our daily NBA predictions on the channel as well. That video will be coming out for you in about an hour. Again, it's the weekend, so if you haven't picked up on this yet, which it's my fault if I haven't explained this, but on weekends, the college basketball videos will come out at 8 a.m. on the Pacific time zone, obviously, 11 on the East, and the NBA videos will come out at 9 a.m. It'll be an hour later, obviously, for the weekdays. We just do this on the weekends because, basketball games for college start at 9, so I want to give this video out an hour before the games start. However, we have no games on today's video that start at 9 o'clock, but we have a game at 10 o'clock, which we'll get to in a second. But yes, make sure to go check out our NBA predictions coming up in an hour, our NFL predictions, and our college football predictions as well that are linked in the description down below. Our UFC 310 predictions, that card is tonight between Kaya Sakura and Alexandre Pantoja. And also, folks, make sure to enter the 20,000 subscriber giveaway. It is completely free to enter the giveaway. All you have to do is subscribe to the channel and follow at Greedo Plays White T on Instagram. That's all you have to do. It is free. It is a $100 giveaway. So make sure, again, you do all that. It is literally free to do it. The winner will be drawn a week from today. So you have a week to enter. Get those entries in. Again, it is completely free to do it, so make sure you go on and do that. And go check out our 20,000 subscribers special video that was on the channel yesterday. That's linked in the description down below. All right, all that out the way, let's get into our first game of the day. We go to, yes, Detroit Mercy versus Wright State. I know what you're thinking. We're picking Detroit Mercy again? Yeah, we are actually. We like Detroit Mercy, guys. Watch their last game. They looked really good in that one, all right? I get it. They dealt with some problems in that basketball game. They were trailing pretty much the entire ball game in their last one against Purdue Fort Wayne, but they ended up, getting the victory. Huge victory for Detroit Mercy. This team is much improved from last season, man. I mean, it is night and day how much better that team is now compared to where they were last season. And Orlando Lovejoy, I would say, is really the star of this squad. But, I mean, you got to give all the credit in the world to Legend Jeter, the man who nailed the game-winning 3 for Detroit Mercy at the end of the game, put them up by 1 point, gave them the victory. Legend Jeter played 36 minutes, went 9 for 12 from the field, 3 for 4 from the three-point line, 9 boards, and 22 points. Again, Legend Jeter, remember the name, was the leading scorer and hit the game-winning shot for the Detroit Mercy Titans in their Horizon League opener against the Mastodons of Purdue Fort Wayne. Orlando Lovejoy, again, the leader on offense, played 37 minutes, scored 18 points. I don't mind this Detroit Mercy team, man. I think they're playing a lot better than last season. Obviously, I mean, at this point last year, they were still winless, and they didn't win a game, obviously, last year until February. But this Detroit Mercy team, man, they're not a joke anymore. They're not. And I'm serious. They're not going to win the Horizon League, but they were playing a Purdue Fort Wayne team that was projected to finish second in the Horizon League, and now you get Wright State, a team that has already lost a Horizon League game this season on the road to Oakland. Oakland, not a bad squad, obviously the team that won the Horizon League last season, obviously the team with Jack Godke and whatnot. But Wright State lost already in the Horizon League this year to Oakland. Their wins, I'll be honest, are not bad, and they don't really help our pick too much, just considering who they've beat. Air Force, don't care, they're horrible. Princeton's a good win. The win over Miami of Ohio on the road, regardless of how Miami of Ohio, screwed us over yesterday. Well, no, actually, it's partially Miami of Ohio's fault. They didn't cover by a half a point. It was horrible. Mbako hits a shot at the end of the game for Indiana, a meaningless shot. Mackenzie Mbako hits. And then, I kid you not, Miami of Ohio gets 3 shots. 3 shots on their last possession to try to cover the spread, and they missed every single one of them. That does not dispute the fact that we are still fading Indiana all year long when we get to Big Ten play. Actually, we're already in Big Ten play, but we're fading Indiana. Now, the reason there's no Big Ten games on this video, spoiler, there isn't, is because I need to watch those teams more. I'm getting a horrible read on the Big Ten teams right now. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to take accountability here. We've been bad on the Big Ten picks. Other than Minnesota, we'll continue to bet Minnesota games all the time. Other than Minnesota and potentially Indiana, I am going to wait about a week, I'd say, to bet Big Ten or give you best bets for Big Ten versus Big Ten games because they're difficult, man. They're difficult. I'm getting, I'm trying to get a better read on that conference right now. But for Wright State, a 5-5 team this season, again, not a bad squad. But hear me out. They got to go on the road to Detroit Mercy, a team that's playing their best ball this season. Back-to-back victories over Eastern Michigan and Purdue Fort Wayne. Guys, we're rolling with the Titans. You can take the points, which again is the conservative play. You can take the plus 6.5 for Detroit Mercy at home. But what you can also do, you can take them on the money line. If you took them on the money line last game, which I didn't even advise to do, but if you did, it was plus 400. Now they're only getting plus 270, plus 230 at home against Wright State, which makes sense. Again, they're getting respect on the lines now. I think they win it. I'm going to be honest. Back-to-back wins. Obviously, they've got guys who can shoot. We're talking about Lovejoy. We're talking about Gonzarek. We're talking about Legend Jeter. These guys can shoot. And I do like the Detroit Mercy Titans, who are coming off back-to-back victories, to make it 3 in a row and to go to 2-0 in Horizon League play to start the 2024-2025 regular season. Give me, yes, the Detroit Mercy Titans to take care of business at home against Wright State. Next up, we go on to a game between Navy and the New Jersey Institute of Technology. Yes, what a basketball game. Guys, I feel like it's almost disrespectful to our country that Navy are underdogs in this basketball game. I mean, come on. Guys, you know how bad, you know how absolutely horrible this New Jersey Institute of Technology team is? We have faded NJIT already this season, and we are going to continue to do it. I get it. The game is in Newark, New Jersey. I don't care. Navy's getting 1.5 points. It's essentially even. We are going to take this line all day long. New Jersey Institute of Technology, the Highlanders, have won 1 game all season. It was a game at home where they beat Morehead State. Morehead State's another team that is absolutely horrible. They beat Cleveland State because the Vikings are horrible too. I considered a bonus play today. Take, oh God, who's Cleveland State playing? Green Bay. Take Green Bay to beat Cleveland State. But I feel this was what I was deciding. Between that game and this game right here, I decided the Navy pick's probably better than that one. But if you want a bonus play, take Green Bay at home. I believe they're about even money against the Cleveland State Vikings. Because why? Cleveland State's horrible. Regardless, give me Navy in this basketball game over the New Jersey Institute of Technology Highlanders. This team's bad, guys. They're 1-9. I get it again. Seton Hall's a joke, but they did lose to Seton Hall. I know, again, Seton Hall's expected to beat them, but they lost that game. This is a one-man squad. This is Tyreek Francis's team, and that's about it. He averages 20 points a night. The rest of the team struggles to get anything going. The sophomore out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, I guarantee you he's not actually, if he's here for the education, he's probably not going to leave, but I assume this is a good academic school. I mean, they're literally called the Institute of Technology. This is bad, by the way. This could be like one of the best schools in the country, and I wouldn't know it because, like, I only know them from being bad at basketball. Funny story, real quick, before we keep going here. No, acceptance rate 66%. Never mind, this isn't that great of a school. I think. I don't know. Quick story about just knowing schools. Guys, one of my good friends goes to Carnegie Mellon, all right? When I found out he was going to Carnegie Mellon, I just looked it up on a map and I said, oh, Pittsburgh, dope. I didn't know how great of a school Carnegie Mellon was because I really didn't know about the school because they don't have a D1 basketball team. They play D3. So they don't have a D1 basketball team. They don't have a D1 football team. So when I told people, when I found out, I was telling people like, yeah, he's going to a small school in Pittsburgh. When in reality, that's like, because I didn't know the school because it's like, oh, I knew, oh, hey, like, random school. Michigan's a good academic school, but I know about Michigan obviously through sports. This is gonna sound so bad, but I literally didn't know what Carnegie Mellon was. Like, oh, it's just some school in Pittsburgh. Great. I didn't know it was because I know Harvard and Yale because they have Ivy League teams, but okay, I'm getting on a tangent here. Regardless, I don't think New Jersey Institute of Technology is a great school. I guess I could be wrong. Regardless, give me Navy, guys. I feel like it's almost disrespectful that Navy's underdogs here are close to being underdogs in this game. Guys, we've seen Navy go on the road this year and already beat. Make what you want out of the Pennsylvania Quakers. All right, this is a team that wasn't horrible last season. They're not great this season in all fairness. They're 3-5. But Navy was able to go on the road and beat the Pennsylvania Quakers. They were able to beat them by 8 points. We've seen Navy beat Harvard, too, as well this season. I don't think this Navy team's all that bad. They've got a couple guys who can score, but like Tyreek Francis, it is going to be Austin Benegi who is going to be the primary scorer for the Navy midshipmen, but it's okay. And they also got Aiden Kehoe as well who can, be on the glass. We've picked Navy before this season. I'll be honest with you, I don't remember what game we picked them for. Was it the game that they lost to Quinnipiac? It might have been. I'm not completely sure what game we've picked Navy before on the channel, but I know we've picked both these teams once before. We picked against NJIT before, and we're gonna pick against them again. Give me the Navy midshipmen to go on the road to Newark, New Jersey. I think they're the better team. Again, NJIT guys, they're 1-9 this season. No 1-9 team should be favored to win a game, especially when Navy's got guys who can actively get to the hoop. Again, Benigini, I'm probably butchering his name. This guy's a hooper. Austin Benigini is averaging 17 points a game. He's, last season he did the same exact thing for Navy, averaged 17. This guy's not horrible. And I think what the Highlanders are just Tariq Francis. So give me Navy to win the basketball game on the road in New Jersey. They will get it done. They will cover the 1.5 points, obviously. But yes, give me Navy to win the basketball game against the Highlanders of the New Jersey Institute of Technology. That's a lot. Okay, let's move on to our next game here. We go on it to Berkeley. We have got the Cal Bears at home against the Stanford Cardinal, and we are going with the Berkeley Bears. We're taking the Bears here, the Golden Bears, in the Axe game, I guess they call it the Axe game for basketball too. We like Cal more than we like Stanford. That's what it comes down to. I've been trying to say for the longest time Stanford's horrible. They're really bad. And I knew they were really bad when I went. The only Stanford basketball game in my lifetime I've ever been to was earlier this year when they played the Norfolk State Spartans at Haas Pavilion. Stanford was undefeated. I realized how horrible Stanford was in that basketball game. Yeah, they won it. They got bailed by the referees in that game. Norfolk shot 11% better than them from field goal range. They shot 10% better than Stanford from beyond the arc. They, turnovers, whatever. But what Stanford had that Norfolk didn't was literally 30 more free throws. That's how I realized how bad Stanford was. They are not good. Norfolk State, again, I liked the heart at Norfolk State in that game. They're not a bad team. I think they will win their conference, the MEAC. I think they will win it. I think they're the best team in that conference. They went to Davis and won. They went to Stony Brook and won. This is not a bad Norfolk State squad. But you're Stanford. You've got a guy who is league-bound in Malik Renaud, and you're struggling against Norfolk State? That's when I realized how bad Stanford was. Again, one man team. Maxime Renaud. I get it. Jalen Blakes isn't bad. He hit a big shot in the Santa Clara game earlier this season. Benny Keeler's okay. Isaiah Sellers isn't bad. Ryan Argual can ball as well. But for the most part, this team is built around and centered around and, kind of how Renaud plays, the rest of the team plays. California is the all-around much better built team. Andrei Stojakovic, baller. Javon Blackshear can score. Jeremiah Wilkinson, BJ Amote, these guys are not bad. DJ Campbell as well. Cal's got too many good players compared to Stanford. That was a horrible way to put things, but I like Stojakovic as a scorer, obviously. He can shoot. I like what Blackshear is able to do as well. For California, they're 6-2 on the season. Losses to Vandy on the road, Missouri on the road, wins over Cal State Bakersfield, Cal Poly, USC on the road, but USC's god-awful at basketball, so we're not going to put much into that, but trust me, we'll come back to that USC point in just a couple minutes here. Win over Air Force, win over Sacramento State, which they only beat Sac State by 6, which is a little concerning, and they blew out Mercyhurst. For Stanford, again, 7-2 this season, but who have they beat? Denver, Cal State Fullerton, Northern Arizona, UC Davis, Norfolk State. Santa Clara was a good win on the road, but it was a rough game. They barely got by, and I don't know. I still don't know where to put Santa Clara. They play Fresno State today. I'm not going to go. I was thinking about going, but I decided I'm going to watch the fights tonight instead. But anyways, Stanford beat Santa Clara. They lost in back-to-back games to Grand Canyon and to Cal Poly, which is embarrassing, and they beat Utah Valley. Again, a team that loses to Cal Poly is not losing to California. If you want to play college basketball math here, California beat Cal Poly by 18 points. Stanford lost to Cal Poly by 7 points. Not saying it's going to happen. Not saying that's why we're picking Cal. But again, I just think Cal's better than Stanford. And how weird is this? This is an Atlantic Coast Conference basketball game between the Stanford Cardinal and the California Golden Bears. Where are we as a society? Well, hell, East Carolina's about to join the Pacific 12 in a couple seasons. It's ridiculous. Give me Cal. They're just better. Again, I feel like Stanford's too dependent around Maxime Renaud. The rest of the team can't shoot. I'm serious. Even Jalen Blakes, who's a good player, shoots less than 20% from beyond the arc. Isaiah Sellers, not a bad player, can't shoot. Benny Keeler can kind of shoot. The game I watched him in person, he went 0 for 5 from the three-point line. Arguwal is not bad. He still comes off the bench, though. Give me Cal. Cal's the better basketball team. Trust me, they are. Cal will win. They'll cover the 2.5 points at the Haas Pavilion. Oh, no. Did I say Stanford's Haas Pavilion? That's... God, what's Stanford's called? Oh, my goodness, I forgot. I've literally been there. Regardless, give me Cal to win at home at the Haas Pavilion. Maples Pavilion, Stanford's. Give me Berkeley at Haas. They'll win the basketball game, and they will cover the 2.5 points as well. Next up, we move on to Seattle, Washington, as we've got the Washington Huskies taking on the USC Trojans. USC is an embarrassing basketball program right now. They are embarrassing. There's no other way to put it. Obviously, again, they lost their big stars last season. Boogie Ellis is gone. Isaiah Collier's gone. Kobe Johnson's gone. He's at UCLA now, which is crazy. Osiah Sellers, we just talked about. Obviously, he didn't really play much, but he's at Stanford now. Bronny James is in the NBA. I mean, USC completely lost everybody, essentially. And look what they are this season. They're god-awful. There's no other way to put it. They're just bad. Guys, if you watch the Oregon-USC game, okay, and by the way, USC's on a 3-game losing streak. We'll get to the losses prior to the Oregon Ducks game. But the Oregon game, they're up by 8 points at halftime. They lose it by 8 points. Oregon just goes on a run the last 7 minutes of the game, and USC just completely sells that game. That's not the worst of it though. Now the worst of it comes when they played the St. Mary's Gales. Now another bet I was considering today was Utah at home -3.5 or 2.5 against St. Mary's. Why? Because St. Mary's just played at UTSA life and death at home in Moraga. I was thinking, okay, well they're gonna go on the road to Salt Lake City. They'll probably lose. Probably, but I don't trust Utah with anything. That's a team that barely gets by every single game they play. I don't love Utah that much this season. That's why I shied away from taking them to cover against St. Mary's today. Regardless, USC St. Mary's neutral site game, the Gales beat them 71-36. That's embarrassing. It's embarrassing for USC. And they lose to New Mexico. Expected. I don't think New Mexico's all that bad this season. Their football program just took a massive hit. Bronco Mendenhall goes to Utah State. Devin Dampier is going to follow. He just entered the portal. You know what that means, guys? We are going to be all over Utah State football next season. I'm just saying. Bryson Barnes, see you later. Go to New Mexico. It's Devin Dampier's time. Redshirt sophomore. He's a baller, and he's going to get drafted out of No, he's going to go somewhere else before his college days are over. He'll go to Utah State, and then he'll say, sayonara, Bronco Mendenhall. I'm going to Alabama. Seriously, I know I'm getting on a tangent here. Devin Dampier will lead Alabama to a national championship, or some SEC school or Big Ten school to a national championship. Hell, put him on South Carolina. No, he's the same age as Lenore Sellers. Never mind. But put him on a team like that. Put him on Vandy, and they will win games. Devin Dampier's a baller. Anyways, I got on that sidetrack because I saw New Mexico. But USC loses to New Mexico. Guys, this team's just embarrassing. And I haven't even talked about the Washington Huskies yet. I am not that high on the Huskies. I'll be honest with you. I'm not. I think Osabor is a good player, obviously. If you hack him and send him to the free throw line, he's there's trouble, obviously. He doesn't always make those. But Osabor is their best player by far, obviously. Followed his coach, obviously, to UW. Tyler Harris is pretty good as well. I'll be honest, guys, this is more of a USC sucks play than, I like UW. Right team at the right time. Sure, we're going to take the University of Washington here, but this is just USC's on a massive cold streak. Who have they beat this season? Chattanooga. Idaho State. Took UT Arlington life and death. Same with Idaho State, they took them life and death. Lost to Cal at home. Beat San Jose State, but anyone should be able to do that. And then beat Grambling. And now they've lost 3 in a row to St. Mary's, New Mexico, and Oregon. This is an embarrassing excuse for a basketball team at the University of Southern California. Washington by 20. No, they're at home. Yes, Washington will dominate. 5.5 points, not enough. Give me UW to take care of business at home and dominate the USC Trojans. We go on to our final game. It is the Battle of Colorado. We go to Boulder. We've got the Colorado Buffaloes taking on Colorado State. And we are taking Colorado to win this basketball game. We're taking them to cover the 2.5 points as well. I understand Colorado State's not a bad team this season. They've never been a bad team, honestly. But we've seen them in big-time games before this season, and they've lost every single one of those that they played, okay? The two are Ole Miss and UW. They lost both of them. Lost to Ole Miss by 15 points. Lost to Washington at home by 6 points. The other loss, they lost a bye game to the UC Riverside Highlanders. That makes me want to throw up. Not just because I heard the UC Riverside Highlanders. It's because how do you lose to UC Riverside? Oh, I'm gonna projectile vomit just thinking about it. Actually, I lied. They did win a big time game this year. They beat TCU. But other than that, I don't know. I'm not sold on Colorado State yet. I'm not. Clifford's not bad. He'll average 19 points, right? Jalen Lake is averaging 15 as well. I think Colorado's got the better team. We've seen Colorado, and again, I don't know how much weight you can put into Colorado beating UConn, especially in Maui, because UConn was just absolutely pitiful in Maui, but they did beat them by 1 point, right? Lost to Sparty, lost to Iowa State. That's fine. I mean, those are good teams. Those are, well, Michigan State, no, they're not bad. They're doing all right. Colorado's coming off a win over Pacific, who's surprisingly a lot better. I thought Pacific was going to be the most auto-fade team of all time this season. They're not. They're a lot better than they were last year. Colorado's got some decent wins this season, but obviously the most notable ones, again, are UConn, and then actually that's kind of it. They took Northern Colorado to double overtime. Ugh. I don't know. I think Colorado's the better team here. Again, we've seen them win bigger games this season. This one is in Boulder. Again, this has to mean something again. If you go to the University of Colorado, you cannot allow Colorado State to beat you in a game at anything. That extends to football. That extends to the beef that Shedeur Sanders created with Braden Fowler and Nicolosi. That extends to basketball as well. Colorado, there's no way the Buffs lose at home to Colorado State. Actually, there's a very definite chance it happens. But still, again, I get Colorado State's got better scores, but Colorado does play better defense. They should be able to lock down Colorado State here, and I think they should be able to do just enough to win this basketball game. Again, we saw Julian Hammond have a huge tournament in Maui. I'd expect him again to parlay that into this one against Colorado State. It's a big-time game. Colorado's getting 2.5 points, and we do expect them to cover that line at home in Boulder. Give me the Colorado Buffaloes to beat the Colorado State Rams, -2.5. You can take them on the money line as well, but we like, again, the Buffs to get the job done at home. So, folks, that'll do it for our 5 best bets here for Saturday, December 7th. If you have not yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you do disagree with any of the picks. Make sure to follow Greedo Plays YT on Instagram. Link is in the description down below to enter the $100 giveaway. Folks, thank y'all for watching, and Mamba forever.